Hello. Oh boy. I clipped the mic right at the start of the show. Alright, so things are a little different today. This is iHearIC Radio, episode 50. We're recording from a new location. That new location is the basement of the house where I live. Things did not go according to plan. We're going to do a big old show at KRUI. We're going to have open phone lines to have millions of callers. We're going to have 100 special guests, returning guests from previous episodes of the show. But the world conspired against me. Somebody locked the door to the studio, and none of the student directors have a key. I don't have a key. I have no way to get into the studio, so all of our plans have been dashed. Also, it's snowing, so people can't really drive around very effectively right now. So all that adds up to me setting up a bunch of audio equipment in my basement. But I've got two guests with me today. Number one, the other person that lives here.
Ashley.
It's Ashley Yachty, my wife. I keep breathing into the mic. Everything is different now.
Everything's different.
And one other guest, you heard him last week. I think it's only been a week since you were on the show, right?
Only a week.
Yeah. All right. Jonathan Wilson has returned. Dr. Jonathan Wilson. Composer, saxophonist, champion of literature. You like that description?
Let's go with it.
All right. Yeah. So I got John and Ashley down here in the basement. We've got some of our friends are going to call in later. We're just going to use my cell phone to do it instead of the radio station telephone system. So it's going to be a little weird. It's going to be noisy. It's going to be bad audio quality. People aren't going to be able to hear each other, but it's going to be fun anyway. Oh yeah, I also have a sound effects thing lined up that I was going to use in the radio station. So I've got sounds like this. I've got sounds like this. I got Pac-Man sounds for some reason. I got a couple of kazoo sounds by request from Brandon Purchase. And that one's got a whole bunch of reverb. I don't know what utility that noise is going to have, but maybe we can use it later. What have I not played? Did I play the boing? I don't know. And then I've got the classic. So when someone makes a good joke, I'll like that if we get any good jokes today. I don't think the people that call in are going to be able to hear that, though. So it's going to be just for us.
So hopefully we make a lot of jokes.
Yeah. And then this one here is... Oh, yeah, I've got a phone sound, which, self-explanatory. When someone calls, we're not going to have a real phone ringing, so I'll have to make up for it with that. And then this actually is my favorite sound on the soundboard that I put together. All right, here we go. It's about 10 seconds long. I was looking up air horn effects because I was looking for something like this. I was gonna open the radio show like that and be like 50, 50, 50. Oh, it's the 50th show. But instead, the first air horn sound I found was All right, I don't need to let it play the whole time this time. So, John, how was your Thanksgiving?
It was pretty good. I had my Thanksgiving in Arlington Heights with my mom's side of the family. We had about 20, 25 of us there for that. Children to adults, basically. So a lot of good times at that spot.
Very good. Ashley, how was your Thanksgiving?
The regular. Just regular.
Well, look, I know how it went because I was present, but do you want to fill in the listeners on anything?
So Justin and I have to split half and half at my family's and his. So we go to mine for about 2 hours, then his about 2 hours, and then we left early so that he could do an episode of Impedecast.
Oh, that's right. I recorded a podcast on Thanksgiving.
For Black Friday with Michelle at the Coral Ridge Mall.
Good old family time there.
Yeah.
Yeah. Are you a big fan of Thanksgiving, John?
I've always been a big fan
Yeah?
of Thanksgiving. Absolutely. Yeah. I've always liked being with family at times like these, especially more than ever now because of how often I don't get to see them very often. So it's one of those things where I always appreciate when I can see them.
And you said Arlington Heights is the name of the town where you went?
Correct. That's where my Aunt Carol and Uncle Jim Wolf live. And so most of my family ends up congregating there because basically my mom's side of the family at one point ended up in Chicago, and so they eventually moved west to Arlington Heights, and there we are.
There you go. And how far is that from here? Here is Coralville, Iowa, by the way.
At least about 200 miles.
That's a trek.
It takes about 3.5, 4 hours to travel east from where we are today.
That's a ways. So my original plan for the show was that this would be our 50th episode celebration, as well as a preview for a concert we have coming up. So the next iHearIC concert is going to be at the Trumpet Blossom Cafe on December 1st, beginning at 8 p.m. It's a free show. It features performances by Vero Rose Smith, who I think is calling in later. Yeah, I have her lined up to call into the show later. The trio, The Demon Possessed, they do kind of soundtrack, synthesizer kind of stuff. It's all improvised as far as I know. And then we've got Shakes. He does sort of a rap R&B thing. It's very poppy and fun. And then we're going to also have Will Yeager play some bass stuff, and Anika Kildegaard will be joining him for a piece too. She is a singer. So on today's show, I was going to play some recordings by those artists so that we could sort of preview the last concert of the year. And we're going to do that anyway, even though we're not actually broadcasting live. So I want to play a couple tracks from Shakes, and the three of us, I guess, will listen to it, and then I guess we'll talk about it, because we've got about 20 minutes before people start calling in. So let's listen to some music, and then we can, talk about it. Just the three of us. All right, so I'm going to start off with Moment 1, followed by Moment 2, and then closing this segment with Passion. And all three of those tracks are by Shakes. You can find his stuff on SoundCloud. I believe it's soundcloud.com/ShakesIC. It's good stuff. I met him a couple weeks ago, and he's a nice fella. All right, here is Shakes.
Moments.
I'm having flashbacks of us doing it. Yeah. I'm off headache, girl, what you doing later on? Yeah. How was your day? Can you make time to play? You left your panties and I'd like to return them to you. Ooh. Yeah. See, I got no problem admitting when sex is good. No. I go so far as to say you got me hooked. But I can tell when you scream, it will never be the same. You left your panties at my crib on purpose, didn't you? Little freak. Yeah, I wanna taste your delicious filth. I drink it all, won't let no spill. No, no, unless you want me to, all over you. Dripping in passion. Yeah. Hey, oh, yeah. This faded love, I ain't get a spill. So get her, don't let no spill. No, no, unless I want you to, all over you. Dripping in passion. Yeah. Why don't we paint the walls with leather now? Why don't we set this bed on fire, babe? We got a great flame growing now. Why don't we take it to a higher place? It's primitive, it's necessary. A mutual ministry. To deny is to live a ghastly lie and complete. Our bed sheets were cut from the cloth of God.
That was Shakes. The last one there was Passion. First two were Moment 1 and Moment 2. If you want to hear some more Shakes, you can catch him at our live show December 1st, 8 p.m. at the Trumpet Blossom. You can also check out his SoundCloud, where I pulled those tracks from. SoundCloud.com/ShakesIC. Weasel has joined us in the studio, the makeshift studio that I set up in our basement. Weasel's the name of our cat. You may hear her purring in the background. She's not super noisy right now. Oh, there she is. Yeah, you can definitely hear that. So, yeah, I was telling Ashley and John while we were off mic that I chose those specific tracks by Shakes because he doesn't use any profanity in those tracks, and I was going to have to play on the radio station where those things are regulated by the FCC. But one benefit of recording in the basement is that I could have played whatever I wanted, but I already had these lined up, so here we are. Another benefit is that I don't have to play any of the station breaks. I don't have to play any PSAs. I don't have to play any grant spots. I don't have to talk about the weather, though it is snowing. But I'm not live on air, so that's of benefit to no one. Attention, it is snowing.
Which way are the winds coming from?
I don't know. I'm not going to look it up either. So, what do you guys think of Shakes? Enjoyable?
Yeah, sounds good to me.
It's got a nice beat to it, I think.
That's good. Yeah, I'm playing it through a little amp as our monitor here in the makeshift basement studio, so it doesn't sound quite as good over that as it does on my headphones, but I'm looking forward to his live performance next Saturday. Up next, I've got a few tracks lined up from our friend Vero Rose Smith, and these are from an album she released last year called New Mythologies for Old Problems, and For Old Problems is in parentheses. This is an album about climate change, and I haven't actually listened to any of this yet, so so I wanted you guys to maybe help me choose. I'm going to listen to 2 tracks today, and the names of the tracks are Birds, Slipping, Sleeping, The Third Season, Imperfect Circle, Warning, and 2 Bees. So which 2 should I listen to?
I vote Slipping, Sleeping.
Okay, Slipping, Sleeping. John, do you have a selection?
2 Bees.
All right, so we'll start with Slipping, Sleeping, and we'll end with 2 Bees. Both of these are by Vero Rose Smith. Again, you can catch her at her live show on December 1st. And these are from her album New Mythologies for Old Problems, which you can find on her Bandcamp page. Which, I don't know, Google it, you'll find it. All right, here is Slipping, Sleeping.
It's hard to feel like you are slipping into the same. What's gone is gone, what's past is past. What good is it even to say? I've heard you forever, though I've loved you never. Now I miss you for all my days. What's done is done, what's past is prologue. What good is it even to stay? I've needed you always, though never like this. Now I miss you for all, for all my days, for all my days, for all my days.
That was Two Bees by Vero Rose Smith. Before that was Slipping Sleeping, also by Vero Rose Smith. We're going to hear from Vero today on the show in about an hour. And we're also going to hear her perform live on December 1st at the Trumpet Blossom at a free show beginning at 8 p.m. We're going to be talking about that a lot today. I'm glad one of those tracks had French horn on it.
It's a contrast because
Yeah.
we don't hear that a lot of these days in the kinds of pop tunes that we hear.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and she's been incorporating horn stuff more and more in her live performances. I don't know if you've met Vero, John.
I don't think I met her either.
Okay, yeah, she did a show or a set for Feed Me Weird Things a couple months ago. I forget who she was opening for, but she played her horn into a loop pedal and sang over that. It was pretty cool. You don't see that very often.
Yeah, I don't. Well, maybe out in an electroacoustic conference here and there, you might see something like that, but not something small and local like that. I don't think.
Yeah, and her music is a little bit more pop oriented, I guess. She's writing songs with lyrics and stuff. It's not quite as experimental as the stuff that you're talking about.
Yeah, it's much more traditional than what we would consider as something that's in that vein of music.
Yeah,
the electroacoustic vein.
Yeah, I'm sure
Very
she's going to
different
play.
field.
I'm sure she's going to play the horn at her live performance with us next Saturday. So
I actually didn't
look
know
forward to
she
that.
played horn until she was talking about it recently.
Oh yeah,
I think when she was on the show.
yeah. I don't think I knew about that until one of the times she's been on the show. I don't recall, but I'm going to play a little bit more music while we wait for our first caller to come into my phone. I've got 3 tracks. You know what? I've got 2 tracks by a group called the Demon Possessed, led by, well, maybe not led by, but one member is Eric Whitaker, who performed on the iHearIC concert series previously, doing a solo guitar performance. And the tracks are called this, but it has nothing to do with the namesakes here. The first track is called Ballroom Blitz, and the other one's called Wooly Bully, but it's not like a cover of those songs or anything. So which one do you guys think we should listen to?
I have no preference.
The first one.
What was the name of the first one, Ashley?
Ballroom something.
Ballroom Blitz.
Yeah.
You don't know the song Ballroom Blitz by Sweet?
Maybe if I heard it, I would.
It's a Ballroom Blitz.
Why don't you sing it some more?
No. Okay, so this is a track titled Ballroom Blitz by the Demon Possessed, but it has nothing to do with the original Ballroom Blitz by the band Sweet. And if you enjoy it, you can catch the Demon Possessed live at the Trumpet Blossom on December 1st, Saturday, at a show beginning at 8 p.m. It's a free show. You don't have to pay any money. All right, here we go. Ballroom Blitz. All right, that was the Demon Possessed with their track Ballroom Blitz. No relation to the Ballroom Blitz by Sweet, as far as I know. I don't know if they maybe have like some imperceptible sample from that track in there, maybe. But John, you were saying that it sounds kind of like ambient music.
Very much so, because it never seems active to the degree that there is a melody that you're chasing.
Right.
When you're listening to it and analyzing it to figure out where it's going in that sense. It feels like it's always in a state of, being level.
Mm-hmm.
If you can think of it that way, where, it's not like you're going up a hill or down a hill. It's more just like wave-like.
Yeah, it's just a constant presence. It's not necessarily growing or shrinking or rising or falling. It's just there.
You're just on the wave of equilibrium.
Mm-hmm. And as I've mentioned several times already, if you would like to just be there with the Demon Possessed, you can catch them in a live performance December 1st, this coming Saturday at the Trumpet Blossom at a free show beginning at 8 p.m. I'll be there. So we're about a half hour into what I plan to be at least a 2.5 hour show. How are you guys feeling so far?
I'm great.
Yeah?
I'm falling asleep.
Oh, yeah?
No, just kidding.
Wow.
We've got some snacks, we've got some drinks, and we're just waiting on our first caller, who should be calling in just a couple minutes. And to cover up that transition, maybe I should play a little bit more music. Another performer on our upcoming concert is Will Yeager, who everyone has heard before. We've heard him on the show. We've heard him on the radio show. He's an old friend of ours now, even though he's only been here for about 1.5 years. But I have a recording here of him with his friend Matt Nelson from Tennessee, which is where Will lived previously. And the only name given to this track is the Roman numeral 1. So it's the first, I assume, of a series of recordings. So here is 1 by Will Yeager and Matt Nelson. And both of these guys play double bass. So it's a double bass improvisation. All right, that was Will Yeager and his friend Matt Nelson on a track simply titled One. And, we're getting a phone call, everyone. We better check out who's on the phone now. Hello?
Hi, this is Christine.
Oh, Christine, can you hear me okay?
I can, yes.
Okay, can you guys hear Christine?
Yes.
I can hear Christine.
All right, Christine, can you hear John and Ashley?
Yes, I think I can.
Okay. So everyone, this is Christine Burke, who I'm sure everyone that listens to this show is familiar with at this point. How are you doing, Christine?
Yeah. I'm good. How are you guys?
I'm great. How are the two of you?
We're all okay here.
Yeah.
Yep, things are going well here in the
Great.
basement. We're just waiting out
Good.
the storm, recording a show.
Oh, yeah. Good.
So do you have any projects going on right now?
Let's see. No, right now I'm pretty much just working on, I'm working on a piece for Will, actually. And then, oh, sorry, what was that?
Oh, sorry. I turned up our monitor. You may have heard an echo there.
Oh, okay, cool.
You hear everything okay?
But, yeah, I can
Okay.
hear. I can hear.
All right, cool.
So yeah, I'm working on a piece for Will.
Mhm.
That should hopefully be done soon. And then I have the Soon and Viola piece coming up after that. And then eventually a clarinet trio.
Great. Sounds like you're busy.
Yeah, got a few things.
Yeah. And I know that you have a specific reason for calling in today. There was some controversy. Do you want to explain to the listeners what's going on?
Yes. So Wombat, which is the improvisational trio of yourself, Will Yeager, and Carlos Cotallo Solares.
That's right.
We have this it's mostly a point of contention amongst me and then Will and Carlos, but because you guys talked about it on a podcast that you did in September of this year, the Local Tunes podcast.
Yes, we went on
I thought
Local
I would
Tunes
just-
on KRUI.
Yeah, so I thought because you guys briefly mentioned this, that this would be my chance to contribute my part of the story to the record officially.
Okay.
Even though
All right, so you're
it's
here
not quite as
to
dramatic as I thought it was going
you're here
to
to
be.
set the record straight.
Yes, that's exactly what I'm here to do. And I will try to do it as convincingly as I can. So in the podcast, the guy asked you how you guys started up, and you mentioned kind of you met through pretty much each other. But it was because of this gig that you did with Esther Dietrich, I think, who was this, she was a poet, I believe, that was visiting the university through the International Writing Program, and she was doing this show with poems that she wanted improvisers for. So someone asked me to help connect her with some people in the School of Music, and pretty much I ended up connecting her with just Carlos.
So you were approached
doing,
first for that project.
Yeah,
Okay.
I was approached first just to help find people because it was the beginning of a new school year and people were just getting to know each other and stuff. So that part I think we're all in agreement about. But on the podcast, Will said that I couldn't have possibly mentioned him at that point because I didn't know him, which, while that is true, I have proof that I did mention him by that point because, so let's see. Your guys' gig was in October, but we started organizing it way before then. So I met with Esther in late August, and then on September 1st was the first. No, that was the second iHearIC in 2017, and that was the one that Will played at. And although I didn't go to that iHearIC, I think the people were talking about how cool his improvisation was and stuff. So by the time I talked to Carlos,
he definitely impressed
which
everybody.
was on, people definitely knew, and because I work at the library, I feel like 20 people probably told me his name. So by the time I talked to Carlos, which is on September 3rd, and I went through all these emails this morning. So I talked to Carlos on the 3rd, and then I emailed Esther right after I talked to him, and I said, and I have a quote here, I have one person confirmed, and I'm waiting on 2 others, which means I must have suggested Will and you to her at that point. So that's my story.
There you go. Well,
Yep.
You didn't mention him by name,
No, I think I definitely did mention him by name because I remember.
But not
and I
in
think
writing.
This is what. Yeah, and this is what Carlos and I disagree on. But I remember this conversation pretty well. That I had said to him, like, so yeah, it should be probably like you and Justin, and then maybe Will. I don't know Will, but it seems like he's like cool at that point. So, yep.
Okay, well, I think you have part of that in writing, so that gives you definitely an advantage in the case here that we're trying to resolve.
Thank you. Yeah.
But
yeah, that's my rebuttal.
I have Will and Carlos lined up to call in later in the show, but unfortunately, since we're not broadcasting live, they won't have heard what you said.
Yeah, I was just hoping that.
Well, I did tell Will that I was going to try to set the record straight. So.
Yeah, I'll try to remember like exactly how you framed it, and I'll present that to them when they call in later.
Okay, cool.
And I'll get their.
I can message you a. Oh, sorry. Go ahead.
What are you going to message me?
Oh, I can message you like the timeline I wrote down. If that helps.
Okay, yeah, that'll be great. I'll present that to them in your absence.
Oh, excellent. Thank you so much.
Yeah, for sure. So, do you have anything that you want to get out there? Any things you could plug?
Gosh, nothing coming up in the immediate future that I can think of. Yeah, no.
Okay.
Nothing in the next few months.
Are you?
Yeah, I think so.
Are you planning on attending the iHearIC concert on December 1st at Trumpet Blossom?
Oh yes.
Okay, great,
yeah.
great. So we'll see you there. That's this coming Saturday.
Yeah.
And
oh, sweet. Yeah, that's going to be a good one.
Yeah, it's going to be fun. We're going to have Vero Rose Smith. We're going to have The Demon Possessed. We're going to have Shakes. We're going to have Will Yeager, and we're going to have Anika Kildegaard.
Yeah,
I've been repeating that over and over again while we're recording, since that's kind of
cool.
That's kind of the purpose of the show is to plug those shows. So I've just been saying it over and over again.
Nice.
Yeah. Is there anything else that you would like to talk about while we've got you?
Not that I can think of.
Okay. How was your Thanksgiving?
Oh, it was really good. It was simple. I just went home to Indiana and just did the kind of traditional Thanksgiving things, and it was good.
Nice. That's good. Yeah, it was all right. Ashley and I each went to each other's Thanksgivings as well as our own. That's probably not the best way to phrase that, but
half and half.
Yeah, we had two Thanksgivings, so that's enjoyable.
Nice.
Yeah.
And did you guys? I feel like I saw on Facebook you guys went and saw something, like an exhibit of some kind, or there was something on Facebook that was a little out of the ordinary, so I can't remember what it was.
On Thanksgiving? Or around Thanksgiving?
Before Thanksgiving.
A little bit before. What have we done?
Like the weekend before.
The biggest thing I remember doing with Ashley recently is going to Paisley Park, Prince's house outside of Minneapolis.
That was in October.
That was a while ago, yeah.
Oh.
Yeah.
Okay, maybe I'm okay. I don't know what I'm remembering.
I went to a Mystery Science Theater live show
Yes.
the weekend before Thanksgiving.
Oh.
Did you see that?
Okay, yeah, I think that was it.
Yeah.
that was it.
Ashley wasn't
That
there,
was cool.
unfortunately.
That's not my thing.
Yeah, but that was really cool. I got to meet Crow, the puppet, you know?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, I was very excited about that.
Oh, that's awesome.
Yeah. So I want to thank you for being our first caller today.
Yeah, thank you so much for letting me tell my side of the story there.
Oh, yeah, absolutely. Thank you for presenting it to us. And
Of course.
I've got another call coming in. Let's see who this is. Christine, thank you so much.
Bye, Christine.
All right.
No problem.
Yeah, have a good
Later.
day.
Bye.
Hello?
Hey, Justin, it's me, Brandon. How's it going?
Hey, Brandon. Hey, everybody. This is Purchase calling in now.
Hey.
Hey, hi, people.
All right. So Brandon, we are recording this in my basement rather than on the radio station.
Fantabulous.
Yeah. So I've got my wife Ashley here with me, and I've got my friend Jonathan Wilson here.
Hi, Brendan.
Hello,
Hey.
Ashley. Hello, Jonathan.
So what are you up to?
Well, I am reading terrible internet articles for the most part. I'm reading an article about Deanna Troy's fashion sense and how over the top it is. but appreciate it. It's extra, but good.
Whose fashion is that?
The counselor, Deanna Troy. I mean, don't want to get too much into it.
Oh, okay.
I'll talk about it for hours.
Deanna Troy. I don't know who that is. I must.
What? You've never seen TNG before?
This is a Star Trek thing?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I'm not super familiar with Star Trek stuff. John, are you a Star Trek guy?
Not at all.
Okay. Yeah, sorry, man. We're all ignorant of that.
I'll post it on my page so you can see what I'm talking about.
Okay, great. Yeah, I'll check it out. So, do you have any shows coming up that you want the people who listen to this show to know about?
Yeah. So I'm playing in early January, I believe, with with Fever Love, I believe.
Oh yeah. Oh wait, I'm playing at that too.
Yeah, so I'll be doing that, and like I typically have do shows fairly quickly, so or not typically, I guess recently I've been doing shows fairly quickly, but
yeah,
so yeah, that's all I can think of right now. I will have an album coming out hopefully in about a month or so.
That's good. Where are you going to be releasing that?
Bandcamp, Spotify, YouTube, typical channels I think for me. SoundCloud, you can't forget that. So yeah.
Yeah, everyone's favorite, SoundCloud.
Right.
Yeah. So how was your Thanksgiving?
My Thanksgiving was pretty bland, I suppose. I stayed in town and God, what did I do? Mostly sat around.
Yeah, do you have any family in town?
I don't. Most of my family is out in Omaha.
Okay.
So I typically go there on the holidays. I'm actually going down there for Christmas, I think.
Okay, yeah. Omaha's not too far.
No, it's not. Like, Omaha's like, what, maybe 4 hours away, I think 3.5, something like that, if you're going quick.
Yeah, something like that. It's not too bad getting there.
Yeah, I was, my Thanksgiving was in the opposite direction, about 3.5 hours east.
Yeah, John had to head over to Illinois for his Thanksgiving.
Oh, nice. Whereabouts in Illinois?
It's in northern Illinois. It's called Arlington Heights.
Okay.
It's in Cook County, close to Chicago.
Okay, cool. I assume that most people in Iowa City, when they're not from here, they're usually from Chicago. Sometimes in like Wisconsin, but most of the time like Chicago.
Yeah, we've got plenty of Chicago people here in town.
Yeah, I'm not from Chicago.
Yeah.
I'm not from Iowa.
Right.
More or less near Chicago.
Yeah, close enough.
Okay, gotcha.
So, Brandon, do you have any stories you'd like to tell us while we've got you on the phone?
Any stories?
Yeah.
I lost my wallet on Friday, yeah.
That's definitely a story.
Oh, shit.
Have you found it?
Well, I typically don't lose things. I guess that's why it's a story for me, because, like, I went and, I was, coming off, post-show, whatever like that, and I was just kind of like, I could really go for some food, but it was also, like, almost 3 in the morning, so I was like, oh, well, I guess fortunately and unfortunately McDonald's is open, so I went there and, paid for it, got my card back, had my wallet with me, because that's where my card would be, and somehow between getting out of the Uber and the door of my house and then, I guess, onto the couch, I lost my wallet, and I can't for the life of me even think about where I would have pulled it out from, so that's been a little bit of a mystery over the last couple of days, but, it's, I guess, kind of the ongoing story right now. It's the main plot line in my life right now.
Yeah. So you still don't have your wallet?
No.
It's still missing.
Thank God for PayPal.
Oh, yeah. And this was after a show that you lost it?
Mm-hmm. Yeah. So I had it, like, leaving and stuff like that. I had it within 2 minutes of me getting to my house, so I just don't know where it could possibly be, so
yeah,
that's fun.
Yeah. Hey, speaking of shows, I plugged on this radio show your performance. You were playing at the 4th Foonsgiving on Wednesday.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Played that on Wednesday, yeah.
Yeah, so what was the story there? Because I don't know the whole backstory of the Foonsgiving events.
Okay, yeah. So what it is, I believe it's a pre-Thanksgiving celebration that these guys have had for, I'm assuming, the last 3 years, or not the last 3 years. They were out of town for a couple of years, but prior to that, Sean and his wife, they had been here for a number of years and they put on like a show at their house. They had moved out of town for a bit, and they're recently back in town. I want to say within the last couple of months or so. And this was kind of like picking up where they left off. The bands are great. Techno Lincoln is freaking amazing. Zool. Unfortunately, I wasn't able to go see those guys because I'm always getting to places late, and it's been like the last like 2 or 3 shows. I'm like, oh my god, I gotta go see Zool. I've been forever, but that's a whole nother Brandon thing. But yeah, no, it was like super cool. Like I closed out the show and stuff. Tried some new music that'll be going on, I guess, the album and stuff like that. And yeah, it was a really cool show. It was a vegan Thanksgiving, and I'm glad I went to it. There was what was it? It was vegan shepherd's pie, and it was like really, really good. I should have had more of it, but I don't know what I was thinking. But yeah.
Yeah, that's great. So you were the last of like, what was it, like 8 bands? It was like an all-day thing.
Yeah, it was 8 or 9. I think it was like 9 bands. I think it was like 8 or 9 bands. And they had just had music going on there like all day long. And if I didn't have to work, I'd have been there much earlier. But yeah, it looked like a pretty kick expletive time.
Yeah. Well, I mean, we're not on the radio today, so if you want, you can indulge a little bit. You can say kick ass.
Oh my word! I don't know what to do with all this power.
Yeah. Can I hear you just one time just say kick ass?
Kick ass.
Yeah, there we go. We got to celebrate this freedom that we have today because I was locked out of the radio station.
So what happened? With that? So I saw that so we're going to go to the KRUI studio, and I guess someone just locked it after cleaning up in there, or what happened?
Yeah, we don't know exactly like why the door is locked, but the Iowa Memorial Union, the building itself was closed for the holiday, but the students that do shows on KRUI and the directors we're all supposed to have 24/7 access to the studio. So we have a way to get into the building and get up to the studio. But they discovered yesterday that at some point the door to the studio itself was locked as well. And none of them have a key. And they, I guess, like, the building is like totally empty. There's no one around that can unlock it. So we're all just kind of like left out in the cold.
Yeah, figuratively and literally today.
Yeah. And that just happened to happen on the week when I had the 50th episode of this show planned.
For months.
Right. Oh my god.
Yeah.
It's been one of those weekends, hasn't it?
Yeah, everything is just falling apart.
Piling up.
Oh yeah, I have a soundboard here, and I think I have. I don't
want to be presumptuous here.
Yeah, I have.
Is there kazoo?
There is, but before I play the kazoo, Ashley suggested one that would be relevant to us saying everything's falling apart. So here's that one. Okay, I wasn't sure if you'd be able to hear that, but you did. Okay, so I've got 2 kazoo sounds for you. Okay.
Okay.
All right, so here's kazoo sound number 1.
Okay. Okay.
Yeah, I'm not sure what the situation is with that. I found it on.
Okay, yeah, because I was going to say it. Like I have an assumption. Like I don't mean to assume what a kazoo should sound like, but from on my phone, it sounded like a person screaming. I'm just to be honest.
Yes.
Yeah. There's a whole bunch of reverb on it, and they're just sort of like screaming through the kazoo.
Okay.
I found that on soundbible.com. So.
Okay.
That's the first result for kazoo, and it's maybe not appropriate for the first kazoo sound you think of. The other one is a little bit better, so let's hear kazoo 2. You catch that?
I did catch that.
Yeah, that one's sort of like someone laughing.
It's like, so I guess this is my phone, but these sound like original series, like I don't know, like retro, like sci-fi sounds or something like that. Like, it sounds pretty awesome.
Yeah, it may be the degradation between our phones. Do you happen to have a kazoo with you right now?
I'm a kazoo. I appreciate kazoo. I'm a connoisseur of the sound, but I don't have a kazoo with me. No, I like to go to kazoo, not have it with me.
Got it. Yeah, you're a kazoo appreciator, maybe not a performer. Yeah.
That's too bad. I would have brought a duck whistle with me had I known.
Yeah. I mean, we made all these preparations to be in the radio station, and now since we had to relocate and everything, like, I know everyone was planning on bringing their small woodwind noisemakers, but it just, because we had to move, it just didn't work out,
Do you guys remember that little tube thing, and you would like shake it, and it would make like weird noises, like someone laughing, or if you like just held it, like it would make like a sort of noise?
Yeah.
That?
It's a long and thin cylinder, and it's got something that slides back and forth inside of it.
Yeah. What is that called? Like, what is that?
Oh, I have no idea. John, do you know what we're talking about?
I remember. I can't remember exactly what the name of it was.
Yeah, it's like if you shake it, it's sort of like wank, 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 wank.
Yeah. Or it's like
exactly.
wah.
Yeah. I'm not sure what those are called. I think I have one in our house somewhere.
I think you do too, in the toy box.
Yeah. Yeah, I've got a box full of just stupid noisemakers.
Yeah, I think there's one in there. We should probably just go get it.
Yeah, well, I can't leave the desk,
Well, I can.
No, I don't want you to dig around for it. All right, so Brandon, we've got another caller coming up pretty soon. Is there anything that you want to get out there before we lose you?
I did most of this radio program sitting on the toilet.
Oh, that's great. I love hearing about that. So, are you number 1 or 2?
You guys will have to come to the show next time, and then it'll be a part of banter or something. I'll let people know. I'll have to let the people know.
Okay, great. Sounds good. And the next show that you have planned is not until January, is that correct?
Not till January, yeah.
Okay, so it'll be a little bit.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
I'm trying to get something put together in December, but we'll see how it goes.
Okay, cool. Yeah, this is like the time of year where I don't want to put anything together. I just want to.
Yeah, I think that's for a lot of people.
Yeah, I just want to stay home and sleep.
I don't blame you, man.
Yeah.
We're gonna watch 1408, I think, at some point today, and that's like the extent of what I've got going on.
That's a Stephen King story, right?
Yeah, I had no idea it was a Stephen King story.
Yeah, I've never seen the movie, but I know it's Stephen King.
Yeah, like, I don't know. I'm curious to see it. Like, I haven't seen any of like his more up-to-date movies. I did see Dreamcatcher, and that was kind of weird, but yeah.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to the new Pet Sematary. I don't know if you've seen that.
I have not seen the trailer for that yet. I saw I've been kind of like, I'm on the so-so with movies. Like, people have to mention them to me at this point, and then I'll be like, oh yeah, that sounds good. Yeah.
Yeah, I'm not super like following the scene or anything, but I saw the new Halloween, and there was a trailer for Pet Sematary, and I'm excited for that.
Cool. How was the new Halloween? Was it good?
I loved it. Yeah. It's have you seen many of the Halloween movies?
I've seen like the first 2, and I saw like the one with like Busta Rhymes in it for some reason. But yeah.
Okay. Yeah, I haven't seen all of them, but this new one is a direct sequel to the original, but pretending that none of the other ones happened. So it's
that's awesome.
So yeah, it's like a separate timeline sequel or something.
Okay.
It's great though.
I like that there's multiple timelines for the Halloween movies. I like that.
Yeah, I think there's at least 3 timelines in the Halloween series now. But
oh my god.
Yeah, Jamie Lee Curtis is great in it.
Where the money's at?
Yeah. You gotta get like a full on cinematic universe going.
Oh my god. Freaking, am I holding you guys too long? Hope I'm not.
No, you're great. I was just, I'm watching the clock. We've got somebody calling in. They should be calling in soon, but I think I want to thank you, Brandon, for calling in today. Right. You were our second caller of the show. And I think you did a great job.
Thanks.
Yeah, thanks for calling in, man.
Thanks, iHearIC, Jonathan, Ashley, and of course Justin.
Yes, thank you. Have a good day, man.
Bye.
Bye,
too.
Brendan.
Later, guys.
All right, see ya. All right, I should have turned that down before I ended the call. Okay, so we're waiting on someone to call in at 5. They haven't called in yet. Maybe now would be a good time to play some more music. We're waiting on. I shouldn't give it away, but let's play a little bit of music, huh? All right, so I have a recording here of Anika Kildegaard, and she is singing the song "Woe to Man." This was composed by Jake Heggie, and the text is by Philip Littell, not sure exactly. Ashley, you're nodding because I said Jake Heggie. You know who that is?
Yes, I sang one of his pieces at my senior recital at College.
Oh, okay. I was there and I don't remember.
Cool.
All right, so this is Anika Kildegaard singing his song "Woe to Man," and I'm playing this because she will be performing on our next concert as well. So here is Anika. That was Anika Kildegaard performing the song Woe to Man, composed by Jake Heggie. And if you like that voice, you can hear some more of that voice on December 1st at the Trumpet Blossom at the final iHearIC concert of 2018. Begins at 8 p.m. and it's free. And, oh, hey, I think the phone is ringing again. Let me just answer that. Hello? Is somebody...
Hello.
Oh, hey, somebody is there. Who am I talking to?
You're talking to David Clair.
I'm talking to David Clair, a frequent guest of this program. How are you doing, David?
I'm doing well.
I'm
At your deeply compressed service, dear listeners.
Yeah, everything sounds like garbage today. So we
I'll
are...
not be on speakerphone then. See if it looks better.
It may improve things somewhat, yes.
Good.
Okay, so I'm here in my basement. We were going to be recording from the KRUI radio station, but events unfolded, which prevented us from doing so. So I'm here in the basement with my wife, Ashley, and our friend, Jonathan Wilson.
Yeah. Welcome to our dear listeners.
Yeah. I wish that you could be here with us or in the studio, but you are calling from afar.
Yeah, I've been relegated to a glorified cameo.
Yep. We've got about another 10 minutes before someone else calls in, so we're going to get a good amount of content out of you today. How was your Thanksgiving, David?
Please be right. My Thanksgiving was good.
Yeah.
I spent it with my family, just kind of chilling out on the couch and doing all the stuff that everyone else in America was doing.
Yeah, it sounds like we all had a pretty similar day.
Yep.
Is it much... You go ahead.
I accidentally left my phone charger at my parents' house in a pile of turkey and disgrace
Oh, man.
next to the wall. And so I am running on borrowed time here.
Oh, no.
So consider yourself lucky that I'm using the phone.
Yeah.
For you.
You don't have a backup at your house?
I don't. Samsung changed the size of the cord since I last got a phone.
Oh, okay. What's your battery percentage at?
77.
What was that?
So we're good. 77%.
Oh, okay. And you haven't had a phone charger in like 24 hours?
Yeah, about 24 hours.
Wow, your phone is holding up pretty well, actually.
Yeah, wow.
Yep.
I turned it off and then turned it on just a few minutes ago.
Okay.
For this very occasion.
Great. Well, I'm very grateful that you decided to turn your phone back on to talk to us today.
Yep.
Do you have any events coming up that you would like the public to know about?
Ooh, no. I'm still writing music. It is in the very early planning stages, so that probably will be months and months away. I told you informally I would like to perform at a future iHearIC concert.
That's true, and now it's on record.
Yeah, good, because I'm sure all the people are thinking, who is this guy? Why is he in all these episodes when he hasn't done diddly squat?
Well,
They could also say that about me.
well, but you're here through nepotism. Is it? I don't know.
That's the word for it?
Yeah, is it nepotism if you're married to the person, or is that only if they're like your offspring?
I thought it was relation.
Definitely offspring.
It's through the family.
Yeah. Well, marriage is a family-making bond, I think, right? I don't know. Everyone's just looking at me.
Everyone meaning the two of us.
Yeah, everyone. More than one can be referred to as everyone,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
Yeah. So, David, tell us about this music you're working on.
Well, it's very noodly and pretentious, and I have bigger aspirations than I can ever actually record because I am but one man.
Sure.
But I specialize in synthesizers and silly keyboards and such.
Mm-hmm.
So it would be something along those lines.
Cool. And you plan to record everything yourself? You don't plan on bringing anyone else in to collaborate?
We'll see about that.
Okay. I mean,
It's not off the table.
Yeah, I'm available if there's something you want me to record. But I'm generally worse at most instruments than you are, so...
Well, I thought thought about doing a hearty balance between complete improv and actual composed stuff. I'll see if I need filler.
Yeah. It's easier to just play something off the cuff than it is to plan it out a lot of the time.
Yep.
How much of this this music have you? How much of it is done, or where are you in this process?
I'm very good at writing song intros, so I have about 5 or 6 songs that are currently 30 seconds long.
Okay, that's
Some
good.
of them are on finale. Some of them are just in my head, and may debut at the aforementioned performance.
Okay, yeah, we'll have to have you on to just play a succession of 30-second pieces for us.
Just put them all together,
Wait.
call them the invention of intros, and you're good.
Yeah, did you hear John there?
Yeah, I just said.
Sort of.
Yeah, I just said slap all the intros together, call it the invention of intros. You've got a 3-minute piece.
Yeah. Yeah, John says to paste all of these intros together. It becomes a piece called The Invention of Intros, and then it's a 3-minute work for you.
There you go.
So... Sorry,
I don't know if this is going to work very well, but I have my keyboards sitting around me at the moment if you want to hear a short, terrible phone performance.
I think that would be great, actually. Let's experiment with the format here and get some remote keyboard playing onto this podcast.
Okay. Let's see. Do you want, like, something with actual chords or something more noisy? I'll leave it up to you. 2 sets of instruments I'm thinking about.
Okay, let's get something a little more noisy for this one.
All right. I'm going to use a overdriven Wurlitzer here on my Korg Triton Extreme Workstation sampler. And I am going to bust out my Minimote Voyager.
Oh, yeah.
Set on preset B42 entitled Pedal Power.
Did you say pedal power?
Pedal Power.
All right,
Not
pedal
like,
power.
Like PED, like that which you play with your feet, as opposed to that which grows on flowers.
Right, yeah. The, like a keyboard pedal.
Yep. Okay, so I'm going to go on speakerphone. We'll see how this goes.
Yeah, give us a couple minutes here of music.
All right. Still a minute here.
That's coming through really quiet. There it goes. Oh, hey, David. Hey, David, we're getting another call over here.
Uh-oh.
So I got to take this next one, okay?
Okay.
All right, thanks for calling, man. Oh, they hung up, but I'll figure it out. All right, David, thank you for calling in and being part of this experiment with us. I hope you have a good rest of your day.
Thanks, everybody. Enjoy the rest of the show.
All right, bye, David. All right, so we got another call. Let me see if I can call them back. because I missed it when I was messing around with the soundboard. And I think I know who this is going to be.
My response to that piece was...
Hey,
Hey, is this Vero?
this is. Hi, Justin.
Hey, how are you?
Well, how are you doing?
I'm doing good. I'm here in the basement recording a show with my wife and with Jonathan Wilson.
Hey, Ashley.
Hey.
Hi there.
So, what are you up to, Vero?
I'm in a gigantic fluffy blanket hanging out in my home office.
Nice. I think that's the way to be right now.
Yeah.
It's getting a little cold here in the basement.
Oh, no.
We're frozen.
Yeah. So, Vero, we are looking forward to your performance this coming Saturday at the Trumpet Blossom for the iHearIC concert.
Mm-hmm.
Is there anything you can tell us in advance about what your set will be like?
Yeah, I'm going to do the song Penelope, which I played both on iHearIC radio and at a Phoebe Weird Things show earlier this year.
Yeah, I think you were on this show, what was it, 3 weeks ago? Something like that?
Yeah, it feels a lot closer in time, but it's been
Yeah, I think
weeks.
that's right. Yeah.
Yeah. And I'm preparing a super special, maybe kind of Christmassy thing.
Oh, great.
Also for horns. Yeah.
That's great. Yeah, we listened to a couple of the tracks from your New Mythologies album while we were down here earlier. And we really enjoyed the use of horn on that. So we were hoping that you'd be bringing it out again for this upcoming show.
Cool. What else is going to happen at the show on Saturday?
Aside from you, we have performances by The Demon Possessed, and they are sort of a synthesizer horror soundtrack kind of trio. They improvise on electronic instruments. Then we also have a performance by Shakes, and he does sort of a rap, R&B, pop kind of thing.
Nice.
And then we're also going to have Will Yeager on the bass, who I believe everybody knows already.
Mm-hmm.
And also a singer. Her name is Anika Kildegaard. She will be joining Will for one of those pieces.
Oh, so cool.
Yeah, it's going to be a great time. And we're going to have the T-shirts that you designed. We're going to have those at the show, too, available for people.
Oh, my gosh. Great.
Yeah, we still have plenty available, by the way, to the listeners. And because we're not broadcasting over the airwaves right now, I can tell you that they are $15 each. Yeah, we've been playing with the format a little because we don't have to abide by any radio station guidelines. So, Vero, if you have anything that you think the FCC would not appreciate, you are free to express those things now on the Basement Show.
Oh, so many things, but I don't have anything at top of mind.
Yeah, you can even say a bad word if you'd like.
I don't feel so moved right now,
Okay.
but it might happen.
Okay, yeah, just feel free any time you can drop one in. Did you know that I have a soundboard set up for this show today?
I remember seeing something about it, but I thought we had to text you numbers. Is that how that works?
Oh no, it's I just have the sounds matched up with the keys on my laptop keyboard.
Oh, letters. I see now.
You're right. Yeah. So here's one, for example. That's when something exciting happens. We can play that one.
It's like the 1990s NBA game.
Yeah.
Are you ready for this? Da, 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 da.
Yeah.
Yeah, it would have been more exciting to do that in the studio with a bunch of people in the room.
That's true.
Yeah. But
Do you have any games, like radio games we could play since so few of us could come to the studio?
I don't have any that I thought of ahead of time. I do have a sound from Pac-Man that I can play. And that's a game, right?
Yes.
Do you have any jokes you could tell? Because I can back you up with the sound after you tell a joke.
Oh, no, now you put me on the spot.
I have.
I should have prepared.
Well,
Okay.
I didn't tell you that there may be an opportunity for jokes, so It's
did not. I don't have.
it's not
notes.
on you.
They all slide out of my brain.
Okay, well, here's a funny sound instead. And and because that
It's just leaving my brain.
yeah, that's the joke right there, and then we can follow it up with one of these. The classic joke sting.
I think you're missing a lot of animal sounds on this board.
Shoot, you're right. I don't have any animal sounds. What kind of animal sounds would you like to hear?
An approximation of a pterodactyl.
Okay, Ashley, would you be able to cover that?
Oh boy.
Come on, you know what those sound like. Very good, very good. Vero, do you have another animal that you would like to hear? Maybe one that makes a lower pitched sound.
Oh no, I have one with a higher pitched sound that I can make.
Well, let's hear that one then.
Okay, and you can guess at the animal.
Okay.
Are you ready?
Yeah.
Yeah, let's hear it.
Peacock.
Yeah, Ashley thinks that's a peacock.
That is definitely a peacock.
It's a peacock. She got it. Good job, Ashley.
I'm pretty sure it's a mating call, so be really careful when you use it.
Yeah, I think that's the call the males make to bring the females to them.
Yes.
Yeah.
That's what happens when I make that sound around peacocks. Many of them start charging me.
Oh boy.
Oh, my mom got attacked by a peacock when she was little, so she's scared of them.
That's fair. They're really scary birds.
Mm-hmm. Very aggressive when they want to be. Vero, do you have...
Okay,
Oh, go ahead. Yeah, you had an idea coming out. What were you going to say?
Yes. I was going to say anybody that's ever had to play in ensembles has this sort of internalized twitch at this time of year. Like right now, if I were still in an ensemble, I'd be in millions of hours of rehearsals, preparing for holiday concerts.
Yeah.
So I want to know, for everybody in the studio, what is your least favorite holiday music to play, and what's your favorite holiday music to play?
That's a great question.
Wow.
Ashley, you have sung at a lot of holiday concerts in your time.
Yeah.
Do you have any specific memories of hating or loving any of that music?
I don't think there's any that I hate. I mean, I'm not really a Christmas carols kind of person. It's just not for me, but like I really like Handel's Messiah.
Okay.
I think that's fun to sing.
Yeah.
We always sang that in high school at every Christmas concert.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah.
Well, let's stay positive. John, do you have any holiday music that you love?
I mean, my most favorite, I would say, are either White Christmas from Bing Crosby or any arrangements of Christmas songs that have been done by Ray Conniff. Ray Conniff was a big arranger of Christmas music back in the 40s and 50s.
There you go. You're big fan, huh? Let's see.
Beautiful choral sounds in particular.
I can probably go negative because this has been on my mind lately. Vero, are you familiar with the Christmas song "The Christmas Shoes"?
No.
Okay, so it's sort of like I don't know, like it's almost country. I think the band that plays it is maybe a little bit country, and it came out in like the early 2000s, I believe. And the song is about somebody standing in line to buy Christmas gifts, and there's a little kid behind him who has like a really nice pair of shoes that he wants to buy, and like he doesn't have enough money or something. And he tells a story about how the shoes are for his mom, who is dying of a terminal illness. So it's very sad. But then the kid is saying, like, I want my mom to be dressed nicely if she dies and meets God tonight. And it's like, it's also just like super cheesy with the music, there's like key changes happening at just the right moments, to make you...
I pulled up the lyrics as you were talking about this.
Yeah.
And so Mama's going to look so great. Sir, I want to buy these shoes for my mama, please. It's Christmas Eve.
Yeah. Yeah. So it's, I don't know, if I feel like the kid is like missing the point of what the afterlife is supposed to be like,
Yeah.
I mean, you don't get to bring those with you. Your mom's not going to be wearing those shoes as a spirit. I don't know. I just don't like the song.
I don't know. What if the shoes have their own spirits, and because they were bought by this kid out of love for his mom, they also get to go, but she's only wearing the shoes and then nothing else?
Oh, okay, interesting. Yeah, so last winter, my friends and I recorded like our own version of that song, and I'm planning on releasing that pretty soon. So that's why it's been on my mind, is because I've been working on our recording of Christmas Shoes.
Oh, that's awesome.
Yeah, so I plan on putting that out maybe like Saturday morning before our show.
Okay, cool.
So look out for that, everybody. Vero, do you have any favorite or least favorite Christmas songs?
Well, so Christmas is a great time for French hornists. We get to play lots of really exciting things.
Yeah.
Usually very loud things, which is not always the case. So that's good in that way. I love Alfred Reed, speaking of arrangers.
Yeah, he's a big one.
Yeah, so he did a really almost dissonant Silent Night that I played in, I think, like high school, and I loved it a lot.
Yeah, Silent Night is a good one. Actually, you know, I'll go a little bit positive since I was talking about that song I don't like. I really like Oh Holy Night. You know that song, right?
Oh Holy Night.
Yeah, that one.
Da, 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 da. Yeah.
Yeah, I'm a big fan of that. I've played that before on the saxophone.
Yeah, I like to sing that one.
With a bunch of reverb, and it sounded really nice.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, I remember that.
Yeah. That was about a year ago.
Are
And
you going to do a full holiday music show at some point?
not this holiday. I probably would have had to start working on that already. Do you have any events coming up that you want the people to know about, Vero?
I think the iHearIC performance is my kind of last thing for the year, which is really nice.
Yeah, that is nice. We were talking about being busy in the holidays, and it looks like this year you don't have to deal with that.
Yeah, I have a cool thing in the works that should happen the first week of December, but we don't have anything nailed down. But I'll give you a quick preview of what it's hopefully going to become.
Okay, yeah, tell us about it.
Sure. So I've been partnering with Jason Snell, who is an electronic musician and multimodal artist, and then dancer Christopher Machine McMillan. And Jason has invented these cool devices that allow dancers to compose their own score in real time.
Sounds very interesting.
By their movements.
Yeah.
Yeah, so we're trying to stage a performance of a work that they have been collaborating on that deals with resistance and resilience in the Black community. And we're still looking for a site for it, but I'm hoping it'll come together. And when we have all that information, it will be advertised through the Stanley Museum of Art channels.
Great. Yeah, I'll try to share that on the iHearIC social media pages as well.
Cool.
Chris McMillan is a very cool guy. I accompany for him when he does modern technique class at Halsey.
Oh, that's awesome.
Yeah, he's awesome. I like him a lot. Is there anything else that you want to get out there to the people? Because we're going to have another caller coming up in just a second here.
Ooh, just be safe and enjoy the snow. Try to enjoy it. Yeah. Don't be as sad about being stuck in your house.
Yeah, it's pretty bad out there. Don't get in an accident. I think
Thanks for having me on.
Yeah, Vero, thank you so much for calling. We'll see you performing on Saturday.
Yes, see you then.
All right, have a good night.
You too. Bye.
Bye. All right. Once again, I did not turn the slider down before I ended the call. Whoops. So that was Vero Rose Smith. What are you pointing at, Ashley?
Well, you messed up, so you need to play the mess up sound effect.
Oh, is that this one? No, it's this one. Yeah, that's the mess up sound, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. So I did that, and that was a funny joke, so we'll put one of those in there.
Did we talk about you doing the Price is Right sound effect? Did we not put that in?
I did not put that in, but I was going... Do you know the Price is Right sounds, John?
The trombone.
Mm-hmm. I did.
Yep, that's right. Yeah. So we are expecting a call here pretty soon, but I have not received it yet. So how are you guys doing? We're about an hour and a half in. I expect probably about an hour and a half more, so we're about halfway through. How do you guys feel in this marathon?
I think we need some coffee.
Oh, do you? I don't think we have any coffee here, do we?
we
No,
don't-
no,
we
we're
don't have
okay. We're fine.
Brandon mentioned McDonald's, and so I'm like, damn,
You want some
I
McDonald's?
want some McDonald's.
Yeah.
But then I'll need a bike around.
Yeah.
the
Something
basement.
something I did not consider when I was planning this was, what if I have to go to the bathroom during this 3-hour stint here?
Mm-hmm.
But I just can't. I can't leave the board. I can't leave the phone. I'm just
No.
going to have to wait, right?
Yeah.
I don't know what else I could possibly do. I can't leave you guys alone.
Yeah, who knows what'll happen.
Yeah, you guys might just destroy everything. So, what do you guys think of whew, I don't have anything good to say here. I wasn't planning on having dead air
On having dead air.
in between the callers here, but we're waiting on someone to call, and she hasn't called yet. I might edit all of this out later.
Well, we might have to find the living air pretty soon.
Did you see that Joe Sorensen asked if you needed more callers?
I did, and I asked him about a time, but I don't want to give it away.
Oh.
Weren't you looking for that joke earlier when you had asked, like, do you have a joke that you can think of right on
Yeah,
the spot?
do you have a joke for us, John?
It's an old joke.
That's fine. How old?
Well, it may still be current, but we'll try it.
Okay.
So basically, the way this joke pans out is there's an old man who bought a lottery ticket and the prize is $50,000. It turns out that his ticket is the winning ticket, but he doesn't know about it. His children, though, know about it, and they're concerned, well, if he knows, his heart might give out because he's at that age. So they come up with a way to do this. So they get an old friend of his who he knows really well to come over and tell him that he won it. So the old friend comes over, knocks on the door, comes in, they talk for a while, and then the old friend comes to ask, so if you won let's say you won $50,000, what would you do with it? And the guy says basically, well, I'd split it with you. I'd give you half. And the other guy dropped dead.
Oh. Sorry about the delay there. So the other guy died. It was a reversal.
Yes.
How old was the first man again?
Oh, it doesn't matter.
Look,
He's just an old man.
I need all the details.
So is the other guy.
Do you have any other jokes? I mean, we might as well fill time with jokes, right?
Well, let me see. Maybe I can do... Well, I could tell you about the story of a man who was looking for a job.
Okay, let's hear the story.
Basically, the story goes that there is a man with no arms, and he was looking for a job. So it happened to be that at this church, there was an ad for a bell ringer. So basically, the guy talked to the priest. They went up into the steeple where the bell was, and the priest said, okay, show me what you can do. And so basically, the man with no arms leans back and just dings the bell a little bit with his head.
Okay.
And the pastor says, well, priest says, okay, that's good, but, people all over the town have to hear. I mean, the town's about a couple miles across, So he's like, okay. So the guy leans back even further and forcefully hits his head on the bell. The bell rings louder. Now the priest says, that's better. But we have farmers outside the town walls, People from miles around have got to be able to hear this. So the man with no arms backs up all the way to the edge of the wall. He runs at the bell and he slips and he falls out of the steeple and onto the ground. Basically, he's dead. And so the people gather around looking at him thinking, oh, this poor man, what happened to him? And one of the guys ends up asking, do you know who this guy is? And then another person's like scratching their chin thinking, I don't know the guy, but I think his face rings a bell.
Oh, boy. Wow, that was quite the build-up. Okay, so this phone call does not seem to be coming in, but I have a plan, okay? So you know how I mentioned I I will not be able to go to the bathroom. I think I will. So I'm going to play, since we're not broadcasting, I can play whatever music I want, right?
Yeah.
It can have swear words in it even. So I'm going to play a song here. It's by the local metal band In the Mouth of Radness. This is the first track from their album. Let me just get a reminder here. The album is called Gone Rad with Power. This is the first track from that album. It is called Dude or Die. So I'm going to play that here, and then I will be exiting the room very briefly. If you guys need to refresh in any way, please feel free. Here is In the Mouth of Radness. That was In the Mouth of Radness with their song Dude or Die. That's from their album Gone Mad. No, it's Gone Rad with Power, right? Yeah, of course. That's what their name's about. That's the name, the pun in their name. If you're just tuning in, I know this isn't broadcasting live, but if you just started a sound file in the middle for some reason, you're listening to iHearIC Radio. This is episode 50, coming to you straight from my basement. My name's Justin Comer. I don't think I said my name at the beginning of the show today. But I assume at this point, people know who I am if they're listening to this, right? I'm here in the basement with my wife, Ashley Yachty, and not my wife, my friend, Jonathan Wilson. We're taking calls from our friends. We were planning on doing this live in a radio station, but there was a bunch of snow and a locked door in the way, so we weren't able to do that. But we're taking advantage of the freedom that recording in the basement allows us. We can say whatever we want. We can do whatever we want. There's no one here to punish us.
Except me.
Oh, you're going to punish us?
The wrath of John.
Oh, well.
Watch out.
Well, nobody outside its room can punish us. I can even play stupid sound effects all night if I want. And here, this one. Do you remember this one? I can do this all night.
No, I don't remember that.
I know that you listening at home, you couldn't see this, but Ashley she mimed the looking at your watch thing because it was taking too long. Listen, Ashley, you gotta say things into the mic because this is an audio thing.
But if you're describing it, then I don't have to do anything.
True, but there's something lost when I have to describe it and they're not seeing you do it.
Well, was it even worth mentioning?
Yes. Yes, it was. We're filling time here, all right?
Okay.
I was expecting more cat noises tonight, but Weasel is asleep on top of the dryer.
Yeah, we got some sleepy cats up in here.
Mm-hmm. It's cold. They're trying to stay warm. They just want to sleep. John, how are you feeling?
I'm still here and I'm still listening.
We're about an hour and 45 minutes into the show today. We've got about an hour and 15 left, according to the plan here. We're waiting on a call from a couple of our friends. I don't think I said it on mic, did I? I don't want to ruin the surprise. I don't know why I feel this way, but I feel like I shouldn't give away anything, you know? Actually, when I upload this, I'm probably going to put the names of everybody like in the description of the episode, so why don't I just say it? We're expecting our next callers to be Stella and Addison, known to listeners of iHearIC as the band
Boy Crazy.
Boy Crazy. John, have you been familiarized with Stella and Addison yet?
No, I haven't.
They were recently married.
Congratulations.
We'll have to repeat that when they get on the phone, but how long ago was that wedding, Ashley?
That was October 27th.
It feels so long ago now.
Yeah.
Like a month. It's only a month, but yeah, it feels like it was a long time ago.
I saw that they were considering getting another dog if it got along with Winnie. So I'll have to ask.
Really? Yeah. Can you adjust the mic so that it's pointed at your mouth?
Is that better?
It is way better. They have a dog named Winnie.
A basset hound.
Yes, a basset hound. Stella's always been a fan of basset hounds. I'm sure we'll talk about that when they call us today.
Yeah, Winifred.
Mm-hmm. John, do you have any dogs? Do you have any pets?
No, I don't at the moment. It's just a little difficult right now to do that.
Right, yeah. With your living situation?
Well, yeah, I mean, my apartment's not really the best place for that, so...
Mm-hmm. And you actually travel quite a bit for work.
I do. So I travel out to Ames, Iowa, and I teach out at Iowa State University twice a week.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm traveling about 500 miles a week when I do that. So
that's significant.
Yeah, it's about $50 in gas a week.
Oh, hey, something's coming in. We got a phone call. Let's check it out. Hello?
Hey, Justin, it's Stella.
Hey, it's Stella, everybody.
Hey!
Oh.
Stella, I'm here recording in my basement. How are you?
I'm doing well. I'm glad that the show was able to go on despite the blizzard.
Yeah. I'm just sitting here in the basement with Ashley and with my friend John Wilson.
Nice.
What are you up to right now?
I am trying to. Well, we've been stuck in the house all day, right? Because the snow has just been bonkers. Did you guys get thunder snow in your area?
We saw some lightning earlier.
Yeah, I thought it was an alien for sure. It startled me.
Yeah, so we've been snowed in. The only time we've left is to walk the dog around in the snow, and she loves it.
Oh yeah, that's good.
But I've been kind of taking the opportunity to reorganize my closet, and I'm kind of in over my head. It's just a big mess now. So.
How much was in your closet?
Well. You know that rule, like, if you haven't worn something in a year, you should get rid of it?
Yes.
I've heard that, yeah.
Yeah, I've never done that. So I have so much clothing. I have, like, all these shirts from work, and I like to go thrift store shopping, and I end up, like, buying stuff, and then just kind of languishes in my closet, and now I'm, like, rediscovering all of it, so...
My method is generally I don't get rid of clothes until they have disintegrated.
Yeah.
And I also don't buy any clothes, so it helps. It helps keep things regulated.
What a method!
Yeah.
Yeah, the zero-sum kind of equation.
Yeah, exactly. So.
Before I forget, I've always wanted to say, long-time listener, first-time caller.
Did you hear that sound effect?
What's that?
Did you hear that sound effect that I played?
No.
Oh, shoot. Let me try again.
Okay.
Did you catch that? Yeah. I've got a soundboard here, but it's not patched into the phone, so I just, like, I'm hoping people can hear it.
Yeah.
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 Thank you so much for calling in. Do you have any... like events coming up that you would like the listeners to know about?
That's a good question. I don't think so. We've been playing in the CR Jazz Band, and we just had a concert earlier this November. So I don't think we're going to have another gig until this spring. Other than that, I don't really have that much going on, so...
That's good.
It's been plenty of time to reorganize all these fucking sweaters.
Yeah, that's right. And hey, speaking of the swear word you just said, because we're not in the radio station today, we can say whatever the hell we want.
Yeah.
How exciting is that?
That's the thought that went through my head as I said that.
Yeah, exactly.
So I'm glad to hear that.
Yeah, I just played some metal, and that's yeah.
Congratulations on 50 episodes. That's a big achievement.
Thank you.
And, yeah. Big fucking congratulations, Justin.
Do you have any other vulgarities that you would like to get recorded?
Always. Let me think. So I think my favorite vulgarity is probably cocksucker.
Okay. Okay.
I feel like it doesn't get used nearly often enough. It's a good one.
Yeah. How? Some people say that word is homophobic. How do you feel about that?
Oh, my feeling is I've never heard that. I'm gonna do some research.
Oh, really?
Right now after I get off the phone, but
well, I mean,
yeah, okay, so
I'm not trying to call you out or anything. I'm just saying. People think the connotation there is that sucking a cock is a negative, and they usually direct the word at another man.
Yeah. Well, I don't think there's anything shameful about sucking a cock.
Yeah.
I really don't. Like, do what you want to do, and
yeah, if that's your thing, go for it.
Positive.
Yeah, definitely.
2018. So I guess the reason I like it is because of the way it sounds. It's got that hard, like, and sucker.
Well, yeah, it's got 3 of the cuz in it.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's great.
It's a satisfying word to say.
It's a very strong word, yeah.
Yeah. And I've never used it, towards a person.
Oh, okay, yeah.
Just in situations like this.
Right, just when you're talking about language and stuff, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Hey, is Addison at home with you?
He is, yeah. Should I put him on the phone?
Yeah, let's hear something from Addison.
Okay, sure.
Put Winnie on the phone.
All right, Addison's about to come on the phone.
Let's see what Addison has to
Telling
say.
him right now that he's allowed to say whatever swear words that he wants.
Okay, so this might be
they're not
Ramp it up, ramp it up.
yeah, this might be a real crazy call now.
Okay.
Hello.
Hey, Addison, how are you doing?
Doing well. How are you?
I'm doing great. Thank you for calling into iHearIC Radio, episode 50, the basement edition.
You're welcome. How was your day? Are you snowed in?
Sorry, say that again?
Are you snowed in to your place right now?
We could get out if we wanted to.
No, we're completely stranded. We need help.
SOS.
I mean, yeah, we could go somewhere if we wanted to, but the radio station, somebody locked the door, so we have to record a show here at home.
Oh, I see.
Yeah, it's really annoying. Yeah. But we're just reveling in the freedom that recording on our own is allowing us, and Stella said some swear words to celebrate the situation. Yeah. Are there any swear words that you like?
Are there any swear words that are allowed on the radio?
Not really. I mean, we play it pretty safe. Occasionally a hell or a damn might get through, but since we're recording in the basement,
You can say bitch on the TV, though, can't you?
Yeah, I've heard that on TV.
I think after a certain time you can say other swear words too. I'm pretty sure.
Yeah, that's definitely the case with radio. It's after 10 p.m. is safe harbor, and that just means the FCC does not actually enforce any of the broadcast standards.
So you can say fuck too.
You could, yeah. The thing is that
Really?
yeah, the thing is that
TV?
I've only seen that on Comedy Central late at night.
Yeah, that's the only station I can recall. But I don't think they've dropped F-bombs on there, have they?
I think after a certain time, I have heard that on there. They'll play uncensored movies occasionally. Yeah.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Well, and I guess if you're pay-per-view, though, so if you pay enough money, it doesn't apply to you. Is that the way it works? If you're private, is that the deal?
Yeah, I think that is the case. It's just a fine. Yeah.
Interesting. Well, no, because I feel like on HBO or whatever, you can say whatever you want at any time, right?
Oh yeah, HBO is
That's true, but that's regulated somehow differently from cable, and I don't know exactly how TV works.
I think basically the restrictions are lifted whenever you have Joe Pesci come on.
Oh, okay. So there's a Joe Pesci rule there.
Interesting.
I'll play one of those sound effects there. So Addison, okay, cool. That sounds good. Thank you for talking with us. I hope you have a good rest of your night.
That sounded like it was an illuminating conversation.
It was. We were talking about what swear words are allowed on broadcast television and radio, and when. Yeah. I didn't ask you when we were talking earlier. How was your Thanksgiving, Stella?
Oh, it was pretty good. Eating a lot of leftovers now. So how was yours?
Pretty good. Ashley and I, we had a double Thanksgiving because we went to each of our families' events.
Awesome.
So plenty of food. Yeah, I've been overeating pretty much every day for the past 2 weeks.
Yeah, same. I had a doctor's appointment too, and they told me that I gained a lot of weight.
Oh, well, that's why I just don't go to the doctor.
I think that's going to be my new strategy. It'll be better for my self-esteem, but probably worse for my health long term. But those are the trades you make.
Yeah. It's I don't know what's wrong with me, and so it's
a mystery.
I have some peace of mind about it.
Yeah. Well, I actually have to get going. I volunteer on Sunday night.
Oh, okay. What do you volunteer with, or who? I guess.
So I volunteer. I'll do a quick plug.
Yeah, let's hear it.
It's an awesome place to volunteer at. I volunteer at the Johnson County Crisis Center, and they have a phone line that people can call if they want to talk or if they're feeling suicidal. But then they also have a chat function, and that's what I can do from home. So
oh, nice.
it's nice. Yeah.
Do you have that phone number like memorized?
I don't, but I can look it up really quick for you.
That's right. I can also look it up. I just wanted to give that, since we're talking about it, I might as well mention it on the show. And
yeah, it's an awesome service, and like I said, they do phone conversations, or if you'd rather chat on your laptop, or if you would like to text with someone, you can do that too.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that's a good service. So if you're feeling any sort of crisis, they're there for you. Yeah. And that phone number is 319-351-2726. Is that the right number, Stella?
Yeah, that's right. Thanks.
All right, good. That's the one that I got on Google. So, yeah, give them a call if you feel like you need it, and if you're on the chat, maybe you'll talk with Stella. It's not going to be fun, but Stella's good at it. No. So, yeah.
I won't call you a cocksucker.
All right. I would hope not. Okay, so Stella, thank you so much for calling in. We had a nice time talking tonight.
Yeah, thank you, and congrats again on 50 episodes, and keep doing what you're doing, and way to go.
All right, thank you so much, and congrats on your wedding, by the way. We mentioned that earlier.
Oh, thank you. Yeah, it's cool being married.
Yeah, it's so much different than being not married. Okay, have a good night, Stella.
Yeah, you too. Take care.
Yep,
bye.
Bye.
And there she goes. And I brought down the fader before she hung up, so this time there was not a gross sound. So, we've got about 2 minutes before our next caller comes up. John, did you think of any more jokes while we were talking to Stella?
Actually, yes, I did.
Yes, I was hoping you had.
There was a... there's been actually recent news about, the border with Mexico and the crisis with, the 5,000 refugees trying to get into the United States these days. So it just made me think of something like this. So, getting across the border, it's getting harder and harder all the time. Well, there's a guy with a bicycle who, is always crossing the border, every day. And every time he does that, he has to stop, show what he's got before he can cross the border.
Right, he's going through the checkpoint.
He's at the checkpoint. There's a guard there, checking his bag, to make sure, everything looks good and seems okay. So it's fine. He keeps doing this for about a month, and then after a while, the guy, the guard comes up to him and asks, you've got to be smuggling something. I mean, I keep checking you every time you pass by. What are you smuggling? And the guy says, bicycles.
Sorry. So he's riding a bicycle both into and out of the country?
Yeah.
And it's the same bicycle every day?
Oh, the joke's never been explained to me.
Look, sorry, I'm ruining it again.
I would just... But I think basically, I think he just keeps trading bicycles.
Yeah, I do want to know more about his situation.
But I think it's like the joke of ignorance, really. Like, I just tell you that he crosses the border on a bicycle, and all you're thinking about is what's in the bag, because it's got to be something in the bag, but it's not the bag, it's the bicycle.
Right. If you were to smuggle something across the border, Ashley, what would you be smuggling?
Cats.
Interesting. I don't know... Are there international regulations on where a cat can go?
I have no idea.
I don't know if it can cross the Rio Grande. I think that's a winning cat.
Yeah.
Weasel. Weasel. Okay.
We are expecting now a call from our friend Will Yeager, and he's scheduled to call at 6. It's currently 6, so we'll see if we hear from him. We did listen to some of his music earlier.
So we did hear from him.
True, we heard something from him, but we haven't heard his voice yet today. And
maybe we'll just talk in bass tones the whole time.
I think he will be calling from Voxman Music Hall, so he may have his bass with him, and maybe he'll play it for us. I'm not sure, but he is texting me right now, so I think we're gonna hear from him pretty soon, and we might even hear the phone ring if I can get it pulled up in time. Will's a bassist. He's from Tennessee. He's a great improviser. He's a great performer, and he recently began taking composition lessons. So he's been writing music.
Oh.
And if you happen to be in the area on December 9th, I believe this starts at 7:30 p.m., there's going to be a composer's workshop concert at the School of Music. in Voxman. I'm not sure exactly which room it's going to be in, most likely the main recital hall. And I believe he's going to have a bassoon solo performed on that concert. So you can catch his compositional debut, I believe, on that show. And hey, we're getting something here. Oh, hey, someone's calling. Hello? Hey, is this Will Yeager?
This is he.
Will, thank you so much for calling. I am
Sure.
I'm recording here in my basement. I've got my wife Ashley Yachty here with me, who you are familiar with.
Hey, Ashley.
Hey.
And I've also got our friend Jonathan Wilson here.
Hello, Will.
Oh, hey, John.
So, Will, I was just before you called, I was talking about how you have a composition premiering pretty soon.
What?
I was telling the listeners that you have a bassoon solo premiering pretty soon. Is that right?
Oh, God. Yes.
I don't mean to. I don't want to make you feel uncomfortable, but I figured people should know.
I think it's important in these situations to manage expectations.
So,
if the bar is low enough, then success is more easily attained.
okay, so we can say that Will is actually bad at writing music, and you will not enjoy this bassoon solo. I can guarantee it.
Exactly.
So, Will, we had Christine Burke on the show earlier, and and unfortunately, we were not able to broadcast this in the radio station today, so you weren't able to hear what she had to say. So I have to relay it to you now.
This is her spurious tale of Wombat's origin, right?
Yes, that's right. That's right. So she gave me a timeline here that I can repeat to you, and she says on August 25th, 2017, ArtShare contacted her about finding improvisers for a show with Esther Descheret. Do you remember how to say her last name? I feel bad. Descheret. Okay, good. Visiting poet for the Iowa Writers Workshop. And then August 29th, Christine met with Esther personally. And then September 1st is when you, Will, performed at the iHearIC concert at the High Ground Cafe. And then on September 3rd, Christine met with Carlos and suggested that he may want to work with me and you. And she has a little note here that says, Will said that I couldn't have known him by this point, which is kind of true, but I had heard of his performance at iHearIC on the 1st, so I knew of him. And then she continues here, Christine emails Esther to let her know there were 3 potential musicians for the projects, parentheses, Carlos, who has, quote, 2 other people he would like to work with as well. And that's from an email Christine sent to Esther on September 3rd. And then on September 6th, Christine introduced Carlos to Esther over email so they could begin work on the project. And that's the end of the timeline there.
Okay. Well, there are a couple of issues with that version of events.
Okay, yeah, let's hear your side of the story here.
I can hear an echo of myself.
Oh, sorry. Let me turn down our monitor a little bit.
Let it finish. I was like, it's interrupting the natural cadence of my speech.
Is that better?
Yes, it's much better.
Great.
Actually, it's the same, but it's okay.
That was the perfect authentic cadence.
Yes, which is not going to have as much of an echo because it's just one word. I'm sitting in a room.
Here we go with Alvin Lucier.
Yeah.
Telematic Lucier. This could be a whole thing. So as Christine, she knew I was going to get her on this, and she had a little, try to give herself an out. I didn't meet her for some time, and I don't know how she could. Maybe she heard that I played, but she wasn't at the performance, if I recall.
That's correct. What she told us when she called was that she was not at the concert, but several attendees reported to her that you gave a very impressive performance.
Does she have the Burke spy network?
Yeah, I guess she has a network of informants who...
For the music
She
department.
mostly doesn't like people, so I feel like this is very unlikely.
Yeah, I don't know. Maybe she pays them. I don't know.
Okay. I think she would have to. So the issue at hand really isn't necessarily this timeline. It's fairly accurate.
Okay.
But I do not think that gives her claim to the creation of Wombat. We were not Wombat at this gig.
That's true. That's true.
This was the first time that we'd played together, and I also had evidence that the next time we played after this was for an iHearIC sometime later.
Uh-huh.
And even then, we were not Wombat, because I have the iHearIC flyer in my room on my wall of mementos, and it says like Jaeger, Comer, Cotallo, Solaris.
Oh, really? Wow, I don't even remember that.
Yeah, we did not brand ourselves Wombat until some time later, and I think it was, our choosing that name was when we decided to take this relationship to the next level.
Right. Yeah, I gotta say, yeah.
We could have been Wombat until we had played together a few times, and that means that the decision was ultimately ours.
Right. So, yeah. So Christine definitely played a role and should have some credit for bringing us together to some degree because of that first gig. But
I won't deny her that.
Okay, great. But the entity of Wombat, that she really doesn't have a role in that creation.
No. Only insofar as the role that she played in this first performance.
Right. Okay. Well, after your call, we're gonna have Carlos on, so we'll get his portion of the story as well. And I wish we could have done all of this live, but but we'll piece it together through the phone calls.
We can do like a rebuttal. We can do like a round two.
Yeah, we can have a debate sometime on the radio.
I would love to argue with Christine at a forum where a lot of other people can hear it.
Yeah, it's going to be great. We'll figure that out soon. Will, I've been asking everybody tonight, how was your Thanksgiving?
My Thanksgiving was pretty good. I did not return from where I come from. I stayed here in Iowa City.
Uh-huh.
As it's some of which I remember better than others. But other than that, I mostly just stayed at home and in the dark.
In the dark,
and
huh?
My roommate was gone, so it allowed me to engage in one of my favorite pastimes, which is basically just doing my best impression of a mushroom. In which I just sit at home in the dark.
Yeah, that requires darkness.
It does.
Yeah.
It does. I played more Xbox in this last week than probably the rest of 2018 combined.
Nice, that's fun. What games did you partake in?
I played. I'm a few years behind, but I just got an Xbox One a few weeks ago.
Oh, very fun.
Some friends bought one for me as a payment or thanks for dog sitting.
Oh, that's awesome.
Yeah, because I kind of decided many years ago that I just don't have the money to spend on the console wars.
Yeah.
I started and have been playing Witcher 3.
Oh, great. Yeah, I've played the first Witcher game. I have not played any of the others.
Well, I played the second one several years ago for Xbox 360, so it's been fun to get into that. Of course, it's just a massive time sink.
Yeah, right. Yeah, do you think you'll be able to finish the game?
At some point.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
But the next couple of weeks of school are going to be pretty horrific.
Yeah.
So no Xbox probably until the end of the semester.
Right. Yeah. Speaking of the next couple weeks, do you have any events coming up that you would like the listening public to be aware of?
Yeah, there are a handful of things. Let me rustle up my calendar. As I'm sure you've mentioned on tonight's show, got a pretty cool iHearIC coming up this Saturday.
That's right. I have mentioned that several times.
Well, it can't hurt to mention it again.
No, definitely.
This one's going to be pretty good, if I do say so myself, since I'm basically constituting half the program.
Yeah.
So I'm really looking forward to playing a wonderful duo for soprano and bass by Katie Balch with a new friend and colleague, Anika Kildegaard. We've been working on this piece for most of the semester, but it'll be nice to actually sort of perform it in a more traditional setting, which is not how I would ever describe iHearIC, but we met and started working on this piece in the context of working with another dancer friend of ours who's here at school doing her MFA in choreography, Alyssa Gearsony. So we've been using a couple of movements from this piece in that performance. And so that's something that's coming up soon. And I think that's going to be the next weekend. It's kind of hard to say because I'm for like a couple of days, and this is just in like one 15-minute piece. But I think it's going to be on the evening of December 8th. So if anybody who knows me wants to see me come, move around and say things.
Oh, that sounds fun.
In addition to playing the bass.
Yeah, that sounds great.
Yeah, I just wanted to indulge my inner dancer / thespian.
How have you done that before? Have you indulged those aspects of yourself?
Never while sober.
We're going.
Yeah, that sounds fun.
So I'm looking forward to that. It's been the piece is basically a bunch of white privileged people trying to examine the complications of that and ask some, challenging questions. So it's been gratifying work, but it's been, not super comfortable and it's been challenging at times. But it's been it's nice to at least every once in a while do something that feels important.
Yeah, definitely.
I agree with that.
I think I have some other things coming up. I don't know if you've mentioned the Laptop Orchestra concert.
I have not.
December 3rd.
Okay.
It's going to be in the Opera Room here in Boxman Music Building at 7:30.
Oh, hey, Will, we've got another call coming in.
Oh, wow. I'm sure Carlos can tell you more about Louis.
Yeah, I will take more of that information from him. Thank you so much for calling in, Will.
Bye, Will.
Bye.
All right, have a good day.
Bye.
See ya. And there goes Will Yeager, everybody. You can catch him this coming Saturday, December 1st, performing at the iHearIC concert at the Trumpet Blossom. I am pulling up this call that I just missed. So let's see. I think we're gonna get Carlos on the line, but let me just give it a shot here.
Of course, we never can tell who it really is on the other end of the line.
It says it's dialing, but I don't hear any dialing. There it goes.
Hello?
Hello, I just received a call from this number.
It's Diviin.
Diviin, oh, how are you? I was expecting you earlier.
I know, I'm so sorry. I fell asleep, and then I woke up like, no!
Oh, man. So, how are you, Diviin?
I'm doing good. A little cold, but other than that...
That's good. Did you have a good Thanksgiving?
It was a great Thanksgiving. My mom surprised my brother and I and came in from Michigan.
Oh,
that's great. So you had your Thanksgiving here in Iowa City then?
Yep.
So what have you been up to lately? Do you have any performances or anything coming up that we should know about?
I do not have any performances coming up. Just my radio show next Thursday at 5.
Yes.
And I might read at the Iowa City Poetry Slam, but I haven't decided yet whether or not I'm going to do it.
And when and where is that?
That is, let me check my Facebook. That is, I think, tomorrow.
Oh, okay.
Shoot, let me see. Yeah, I think it's tomorrow. And, of course, everything's taking forever to load now that I want to see it.
So while that's loading, I will. I'll tell the listener to catch Divine's radio show every Thursday on KRUI at 5 p.m. It's called A Moment with Diviin, and she talks with friends about creativity and making a career out of things you like to do, and spirituality, and a whole bunch of other stuff. She's very fun to listen to. She's always super pleasant to be around. I'm a big fan of Diviin. Diviin,
Thank you, Justin. Likewise.
I am
tomorrow from 7 to 9 at High Ground Cafe.
Okay, you can catch Diviin tomorrow at High Ground Cafe from 7 to 9. Diviin, I am actually receiving another call right now, and I need to pick this one up. So I thank you so much for calling in. It was nice to hear from you.
Thank you, and have a great one, and I hope that everything goes swimmingly with your show.
We are trying. All right, have a good night, Diviin.
Okay, bye.
See ya. Okay, and I missed that call as well, so give me just a second here.
Another call comes and goes.
Yeah, I'm glad we got Diviin in there, though.
Yeah.
I was expecting her earlier. All right, here's our next one.
Hello.
Hey, Carlos, how's it going?
Good.
Sorry, I had another call on the line, so I missed your first attempt there.
Oh my god. I want my 3 minutes back.
sorry. So I'm sitting here recording a show in my basement. I've got my wife Ashley here with me.
Hello.
And I've got our friend Jonathan Wilson here with us as well.
Hola, ¿cómo te va?
Hey, Jonathan.
Very good Spanish there.
¿Qué pasa?
So, Carlos, we've had kind of a running thing tonight. Our first caller of the night was Christine Burke, and she was talking to us about the formation of Wombat.
Oh, yeah.
And unfortunately, since we're not broadcasting live, you didn't hear what she had to say.
Mm-hmm.
So she gave me a timeline here, which she wants me to relay to you. All right, so she's claiming some credit for the formation of our band Wombat.
Yeah.
And this is why. So on August 25th, 2017, ArtShare contacted Christine about finding improvisers for a show with Esther, the visiting poet, for the Iowa Writers Workshop. And then on the 29th, Christine met with Esther. And on September 1st, Will Yeager performed at the iHearIC concert at High Ground Cafe. And then two days later, on September 3rd, Christine met with you about this project, and she suggested to you that you might want to work with me and with Will. And she has a note here about Will that says, Will said that I couldn't have known him by this point, which is true, but she had heard of his performance at iHearIC on the 1st, so she was aware of him. And she says here that she emailed Esther to let her know that there are 3 potential musicians for the project, and Carlos has, quote, 2 other people he would like to work with as well, and that's from an email that Christine sent to Esther on the 3rd. And then on September 6th, Christine introduced you to Esther via email so that you could begin working on the project. And I can catch you up on Will's follow-up to this because he called a little bit ago.
Sure.
And he says he concedes that Christine can take some credit for bringing the 3 of us together because she made these suggestions and connections with this specific project. But he says that the 3 of us did not refer to ourselves as Wombat until quite a bit later.
Oh, okay, that's a good point.
Yeah, and so the entity of Wombat, she did not play a role in that creation.
Yeah, I don't know. I'm still not. I mean, I don't know. I don't want to say that's too strong. Christine, if you ever hear this, I'm not saying that you're lying. I don't know. I do not remember her suggesting Will that firmly.
I think the issue
I
here.
feel like we talked about a bunch of people, and obviously you and Will were in the conversation. But I don't think. I don't know. I feel like when Christine told the story, she presented to me. She presented it as if she had told me, like, "Oh, it should be you, Will," and I don't think that was the case. I think it was more subtle than that.
Okay.
But anyway.
Yeah, I mean, I don't really care.
Yeah. Yeah, I don't think anybody really cares. I think it's just like, yeah, it's fun to mess around with Christine. So.
Yeah, Will enjoys arguing. In fact, he says he wants to have a debate on air with Christine about this.
All right.
So I've got to set that up for some episode of the radio show in the future.
Yeah, that sounds good.
It'll be a special feature.
Yeah. Very special debate.
All right.
So while I've got you on the phone, Carlos, do you have any upcoming events that you would like the world to know about?
Let me see. So actually, I need to check the calendar.
Yeah. When I had Will on earlier, he mentioned the Louis concert, and I think that's where we left off.
Oh, I see. Yeah. So let me see. Well, on Friday the 7th, I will have something on the Jack Quartet read session.
Right. The Jack Quartet is visiting, and they will be reading student compositions.
Yeah. So that'll be 2:30 to 4:30. I don't know exactly when. There's another reading session on Wednesday, but I won't be there. Anyway, if you don't go to any of this semester, you should definitely go to the Jack Quartet concert on Friday the 7th at 7:30. I do not have a teacher. I highly recommend it. And then, yeah, on the 8th, there will be the Electronic Music Studio concert. I will have a piece there. That's at 7:30, Saturday the 8th. I'm assuming it's at the Opera Studio. We'll see.
Sorry, what was that last part?
I'm assuming the concert is at the Opera Studio.
Oh, right. Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah. And then on the 9th, Wombat will be playing at the Composers Workshop concert at 7:30 at the concert hall in Boston.
Yes, that's right. And we had a rehearsal for that just this morning.
Yep. It was wonderful. We still have to figure out that middle part, but I'm very happy.
Yeah, there's a... Do we want to tell the people exactly what's going on, or do we want to keep it a secret?
No, it's fine. We can tell people. Yeah, there's a video. We're improvising music to it. Yeah, and with mainly Will and Justin are trying to figure out how to keep playing in the middle section without passing out.
Yes, the energy ramps up to a fever pitch, and it sustains that for a long time.
Yeah.
And I need to find something that I can do for a long time that's very high energy, without hurting myself. And actually, since I've got John in the room here, maybe Carlos, can you tell us more about this video?
Oh yeah, Jonathan. You know Timothy Dave Warren.
You're going to have to repeat that. That didn't come out clearly.
The video is by Timothy Orm. The guy
yes, Timothy Orm. Yep, of course.
Yeah. Yeah, so I kind of met him through Jonathan, even though Jonathan wasn't directly related, but he had a piece together with him, and I saw that.
Years ago.
Yeah, I ended up doing some more stuff with him.
Yeah, so there's another connection there between people.
That's a guy. That's really cool stuff.
Yeah, I'm very excited to perform this piece. Is there a title to this, Carlos?
Yeah, this is so this is part of a series of pieces called Generations. So I think the official name for this will be I think it's Generations 2.1, but I'm not sure. There's like a number system for each of the using the series. So
Interesting.
Okay,
I don't know, but
and this was Generations 2.1, you said?
I think so. Yeah.
Okay, cool. So you can catch us performing Generations 2.1, probably, and that'll be December 9th at a concert beginning at 7:30.
7:30.
Yeah, 7:30, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Okay. Good.
Fine.
Do you have anything going on after
How has
that?
it been so far?
Sorry, what was that?
How has it been so far today?
Oh, it's been pretty good. I mean, I kind of hacked together an audio setup, so I wasn't totally sure how it would work, but I've got you coming through my headphones, but then I wanted John and Ashley to be able to hear you as well, so I put a little keyboard amp under the table as a monitor for you. Yeah. And the audio from the board is not going to the phone. It's only coming from the phone.
Okay.
So I'm talking into the microphone, but loudly enough that you can hear me from the phone on the table. Yeah, it's been a little difficult, but so far it's worked. I mean, we've had several guests on the show. We had Christine call in. We had Purchase. We had my friend David Clair. We had Vero Rose Smith. We had Boy Crazy.
Oh wow.
Yeah.
Did they perform?
They did not perform. We just chatted with them for a little bit. We had Diviin Huff, and now we're on to you.
Oh wait, so Will? No, wasn't Will right before me?
Actually, we had Diviin in between you and Will.
Oh, I see.
She was planning on calling earlier, but she told me that she fell asleep. So, yeah. So we only got to talk to her briefly, but she's always fun to hear from because she's a very nice person.
Yeah, she's really fun.
Yeah.
I mean, I guess she's fun.
Yep. So up next, we're expecting a call from Jonah Elrod.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, that should be really fun. I'm sorry that you won't be on the line to talk with him as well.
Oh, well, tell Jonah I say hi.
I will do so.
All right. And, basically, for the last hour, after I finish with this phone call, I have to keep grading music theory. So, yeah, you and Jonathan Wilson and Jonah Ross, you all know my name.
Sorry, Carlos. We did not quite catch what you were saying there.
Oh, okay. I was saying I have to grade music theory, and since we have two theory PAs right there, and then we talk to Jonah, then you all know what I'm going to do.
Yes. Okay, so Carlos has to grade a bunch of music theory papers, and he knows that we will understand because we've done the same. And we have Jonah calling in now, so I'm going to have to switch over.
All right. Well,
all right. Thanks for calling, Carlos. All right, have a good night.
Yeah.
And, oh, shoot. I had it switched over, but it says I missed the call. I did not miss the call. That's the thing.
Good thing we are technically not on the air.
That's fine. That's fine. All right, I'll try again. Man, it was so close, you know. I had it switching over, and then it dropped him.
Hi, this is Jonah.
Hey, Jonah, this is Justin. How are you?
Good. How are you, Justin?
Great. I'm sorry I missed your first attempt. I tried to drop Carlos, but I didn't drop him quickly enough.
No, that's okay.
Carlos says hello, by the way.
Oh, great. Is Carlos there?
Unfortunately, he is not, but he will listen to this later.
Okay, great.
I'm recording in my basement right now, and I have Ashley with me, and I also have our mutual friend, Jonathan Wilson.
Hello, Jonah.
Hey. Hi, Ashley. Hi, John.
So, Jonah, tell me what you've been up to.
What I've been up to?
Yeah, how's it going? What do you got going on right now?
That is...
Things are really good. I don't know if you heard, but I graduated from the University of Iowa. I finished my dissertation in May, so I'm a graduate as of August.
Yes.
So that's been the big deal.
Yeah, I missed you when you came here to defend, unfortunately.
Oh, yeah. I was only there for, 2 days.
Yeah, it was brief.
It was a fast turnaround. And I tried to meet up with some friends and stuff. But you know, I saw some people. I went to it was like the composition studio get together end of the year thing. So that was fun.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's too bad you and I didn't get to meet up.
Yeah, it just didn't work out. Too brief of a window.
Yeah. You know, composition-wise, I've been working on projects. My music is based on sounds and signals from the Earth, so I'm always looking for like scientific data that I can incorporate into my music. And you know, there's a lot of climate change news coming out right now.
Yeah.
So yeah, I'm very excited to be creating some pieces that are sort of reacting to this.
Do you have a project you're working on right now that you can tell us about?
A little bit. I've been doing some research on like tree canopy extent. So they have like satellite imagery, and they can look at different countries and measure the amount of land that's covered by trees and the amount of land that is not.
Okay. Yeah.
And yeah, so I've been like going to these websites that are really easy to measure. You know, they're pretty simple websites that give you really basic charts and graphs and things. And so I just take that data and I'm trying to make a piece. I'm not quite sure what the instrumentation is going to be, but I'm coming up with something with that. So I just feel pretty passionate. I mean, as you can imagine, tree canopy is going down. It's people. I mean, there's a lot of good stuff going on with the forestry. I mean, they're replanting trees, but not at a rate that's going to overcome the loss. You know, it's going to take a lot of work to make.
Right. Yeah. And there have been some pretty catastrophic reports recently about the impact of that deforestation and climate change in general. It seems you could say we are doomed.
Yeah, I mean, not just the loss of trees, but the loss of water retention, because you take out the trees, you also lose the water that, you know, is retained in the roots of the trees.
Yeah. Jonah, I don't know. Can you hear John very well?
I can hear him a little bit, but not super loud.
Yeah, my phone setup down here is not the best, but I did what I could in 3 hours.
Yeah, that's all right. The trees would definitely help pull carbon out of the atmosphere. So it's not very healthy to be cutting them down. You know, we need to sink carbon out of the atmosphere somehow, and trees do it for us for free.
Yep, that's a pretty important part of the cycle there, and we are cutting it down. So something a little bit lighter. I've been asking everybody that calls in tonight, how was your Thanksgiving, Jonah?
It was pretty nice. I live with my grandfather, and he just had his 96th birthday.
Wow.
Oh, wow, that's great.
Yeah.
Yeah, and he's still going strong. So we went over to a friend's house, and they had a nice dinner there, and we had Thanksgiving with them.
Nice.
And it was a lot of fun.
Yeah, that sounds great. I don't think I know where you're living right now. Where are you located?
I am in Camp Hill, Pennsylvania, which is just outside of Harrisburg.
Okay, yeah. I know some people in Harrisburg. Jake's family is there.
Oh, really?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. My some of my oldest friends actually from Cedar Rapids. They moved to Harrisburg like a couple years ago.
Oh wow, okay.
I have a little bit of a connection there.
Yeah.
So, what have you been doing since you graduated? Like, what kind of stuff do you have on the horizon? Maybe.
I don't have any major like performances or anything coming up. Like most of us, I'm applying for jobs.
Yeah.
I'm really trying to get an academic position, and so I'm of course applying for lots of those. I recently joined the Baltimore Composers Forum. And they're doing a lot of new music. There's a big new music scene down in Washington, D.C. and in Baltimore. Like, I'll get an email, and they'll say, here's all the events this month, you know, and it'll just be this long list. So I'm trying to go out there and see more stuff and be more involved. The problem is it's 2 hours away from where I live.
Yeah, I was just going to ask how long it takes you to get there.
Yeah, it's a little while, but I went to like a music festival. It was great. I met a lot of people. I saw some friends there too, and we just had the first, or not the first, but I think twice a year, Baltimore Composers Forum has a concert. And so they just had one, and I went, and I was a stagehand for them, and, you know, I helped out, met some new people, and that was really great. So I feel like as far as, like, the new music scene here, I'm still trying to get the lay of the land, you know who's doing what and what's going on.
Right.
But it seems like in Harrisburg, there's just not, like, a big, as far as I can find, I'm not finding much of a community for the new music scene, you know.
Yeah, I honestly I don't know anybody. I don't know any musicians in Harrisburg. I just know like some people that I knew when I was young.
Yeah.
I don't really have any
I mean,
helpful
I'm sure,
connections there.
Yeah, I'm sure there's plenty of pop music going on, and there's probably lots of folk music and all of that. But like as far as the academic classical music that we talk about in college and stuff, the things that I'm writing, I'm just not seeing much of that going on.
Right.
But if anyone listens to this and they hear about it, please tell me.
Yeah, if you have any new music connections in Harrisburg, Pennsylvania, please reach out. Jonah could use some help, I guess. Not to say you're helpless, but you could use the connections, I'm sure.
Yeah.
Maybe, do you want to tell us about your dissertation a little bit, since that's kind of the last thing you did here in town?
Yeah, sure. So I gathered some data from the Rutgers Snow and Ice Lab, and they had snow and ice extent for the Northern Hemisphere from about 1967 to the present day. And so I downloaded all the data, and then I entered it into a spreadsheet program, and it made graphs for each season. So we have like autumn, winter, spring, and summer. And then when I was looking at the graph, the summer one was the most interesting to me, because in the summer, back in the 60s and 70s, the amount of snow and ice extent would be wildly unpredictable. There could be like, I'm trying to remember the unit of measurement, but something like million square kilometers. So you'd get like 10 million square kilometers one year, and then the next year you'd only get 5.
Yeah,
so
big
in the early
gap
60s
there.
and 70s, it was wildly unpredictable. But then when you get to the 2000s, it's very predictable. It's like in the 3s, 3.2, 3.5, 3.6, 4, 3.7, right? And so generally the trend line was going down. And so it's very dramatic looking graphs. So what I started doing was I started just like singing these graphs, and the winter and spring and fall just weren't as interesting to me as the summer graphs. It just looked great to me. So I started singing and writing music about that graph, and then I sort of set up little algorithms for how I was going to handle, or what I should say is, what about the graph was going to map onto musical materials.
Right. I'm interested in knowing what you mean by singing the graphs.
Well, there's certain licks that I feel like are in my wheelhouse, and so I'd be like, all right, number 10, it's going to be really loud and dramatic, and it's going to sound like a big full tone. And then when I get down to like a number 3, which is like the lowest numbers I was getting, the lowest data was like 3.2. I was singing really quietly and just sort of whispering to myself. So I was just sort of like crazily on my own, hopefully no one can hear me, just sort of, singing the graph.
Okay, so the graph is sort of like a dynamic.
Yeah. So one of the simplest things I did was I just mapped, the higher the number, the more people are playing. So I called it like orchestrational density.
Okay, yeah, that makes sense.
So when you get to like the 3s, there's supposed to be very few people playing, and then when you're into like the 10s, everyone's playing. And then of course, I could do dynamics with that as well. But there are other things involved, like the type of music that they're playing. Like I wanted the lower numbers to sort of represent there's much less ice, so the instruments aren't going to I'm using a lot of very short sounds and clipped off sounds and techniques in the strings that are very pointillistic and sharp. And my choice of percussion colors would be highly influenced by the data number as well.
I had a question for you, Jonah. Considering the relationship between density and the numbers, is there a direct correlation between the volume as well? That is, like, as the numbers get higher, does it also get louder, and vice versa?
Yeah, when my highest dynamics are at the higher numbers. So I'm hoping the audience, in some ways I wanted it to be obvious without being boring.
Right.
And I thought that, dynamics and the number of people playing, that's a pretty obvious thing to see, and a pretty obvious representation of being mapped on.
Right, yeah. Higher numbers equal louder and more sound. It's a pretty one-to-one comparison.
It's like the sustain that I think is a little more subtle. It's
right.
Really long. I got a lot of sustain, and so,
Yeah, we will need to talk more in depth about this at some point. I would like to have you as a guest for a full hour someday, Jonah.
Oh, that'd be awesome.
Yeah, we should work that out at some point.
Awesome.
I am expecting another call here in a minute, so we're gonna have to wrap things up. Thank you so much for calling in, Jonah.
Yeah, good to hear from you.
I'm looking forward to listening to this episode.
Yeah,
to hear what everyone else has to say.
It's gonna be about 3 hours long, so you're in for a good one.
Trust me, you're gonna be bored for most of it.
Wow. All right.
That was a joke.
Oh, sorry. I was supposed to hit the sound effect here for John's joke there. Okay. All right. All right. Have a good night, Jonah.
Bye.
Yeah, man. Have a great episode. Bye, Ashley.
All right.
Bye, John. Great to hear from you.
Yep.
Yeah, great to hear from you. Bye, Jonah.
Good night.
Bye-bye. Night.
All right. Thank you for calling in, Jonah. Sorry, I keep missing my sound cues there, but I'll make up for it there.
That's really interesting.
Yeah, mapping those graphs onto music. Yeah.
I think it's interesting how people come up with those ideas. Like, who would think about the weather from 50 years ago to turn into that? I don't know.
Yeah, I think it's like an interesting way of a translation, but from one way of thinking of some kind of language to another.
Mm-hmm.
That kind of mapping projection onto another surface and decoding it in such a way that, for the composer makes sense, and hopefully in a way that becomes sensible to other people, the
right.
audience or other
Yeah,
composers
like how
that
they
are out
hear
there.
it.
Yeah, and he's using data that he cares about deeply. It's something important to him.
Yeah, I mean, that's an important point too. I mean, you've got to have some relationship with the numbers, or at least the topic that is associated with those numbers, because if you don't, then
what's the whole point?
What's the whole point? What's the significance of that?
Yeah. I'm not necessarily against music with no point, but I could see how it would maybe make the process of writing a piece of music more meaningful to you.
I just feel like if I were doing it and it was something important to me, I feel like my outcome would be better because I actually cared.
Right. It would make a difference in how you compose. Yeah, for sure. While we're waiting on this last call, I will get in a couple plugs real quick. So the University of Iowa Society of Composers International Student Chapter has a call for scores out, and the deadline is tomorrow. So I will put a link to that Facebook event in the description for this episode. If you're a student composer, you should consider contributing something to that. And this coming Friday at 7:30 p.m., our friend Alexandro Cazares has his MA jazz recital. He's a jazz bassist. And one performer on this recital will be Day Beyer on violin, who we had on a previous concert recently. And I think I already said the time. That's going to be at 7:30 on Friday, November 30th, and that'll be somewhere in Voxman. I don't remember the room, but you'll be able to find it. I'll put a link to that in the description as well. And as I've plugged several times already today, we have a concert coming up, an iHearIC show on December 1st at the Trumpet Blossom Cafe. Begins at 8 p.m. It is free, but you can donate money to us if you would like to contribute to the continued growth of this project. This will feature performances by Vero Rose Smith, The Demon Possessed, Shakes, Will Yeager, and Anika Kildegaard. You heard recordings of all of those today, and you heard phone calls from 2 of them. And we will have T-shirts available at the show. Those are $15 each for the layman. If you happen to be a Patreon subscriber to us, they will be $10 instead. So that's a little incentive there for you. These T-shirts were printed by me and Ashley and Carlos and Vero. We made them at the Iowa City Press Co-op, which is the press half of the Public Space 1 space downtown, which is a wonderful facility. And Vero Rose Smith herself designed these T-shirts. So you've got lots of cool art happening on your body, if that's what you like. Every T-shirt is unique. They all look different. We did different things to all of them. So everyone gets their own thing. Nobody looks the same. If you like what you heard today, you can find more of our stuff at our website. It's iHearIC.com. On that page, you will also find links to our Facebook, Twitter, YouTube, and Patreon pages. Every episode of this show is released online as a podcast. Usually we do these in a radio first, and it broadcasts live to Iowa City. It did not work out this time. But you can find all the past episodes on iTunes, Google Play, Mixcloud, SoundCloud, and Stitcher. If you check out the descriptions of each episode, you will find links to the artists that were featured within. And if you are listening to this and you have music you'd like us to know about, or you have a show coming up, or you want to play on one of our shows, or you want to be on the radio show, or you just want to say hi, the best way to reach us is by email, and that is iHearIC@gmail.com. While we are here in the basement and not on the radio, I'll take advantage of the freedom here and say that you can subscribe to our Patreon for $1 a month. It's patreon.com/iHearIC. That's IHEARIC. Everybody that contributes gets access to full-length concert videos. No editing is done. You get to see all of the in-between acts banter. Sometimes that's entertaining. Sometimes you might want to skip ahead. But either way, you get access to it if you give us at least $1 per month. And once we get more people in there, maybe we'll do more stuff. Maybe we'll record more shows here in the basement with more people. Maybe we'll put together some mixtapes. I don't know.
We'll have a jam session.
We'll do something. We want your money because we want to pay people to play at our shows. Someday Carlos and I would maybe like to make some money off of this, but so far that has not been the case. We're doing this for the love of the game, everyone. But the more money we take in, the bigger this thing can be. The better it can be. The more stuff we can do. You know, that's how money works. When you have it, you can spend it.
Wow.
Thank you for listening to that spiel. Give us your money if you feel so inclined. I'm not sure if this last phone call is going to come in or not. So, do you guys have anything you'd like to say to sign off?
No, I'm good.
Well, I would just say that it's been a pleasure being here these past few hours and, you know, listening to what everybody has been up to and, of course, you know, reconnecting with people that, you know, I haven't seen in a while.
Yeah. I'm so glad you were able to make it over here, John.
Yeah, considering the fact that, you know, the snow has, you know, kept a lot of people in.
Yep.
And still I fought through it.
Staying
Here
strong.
I am.
Yeah. All right, so that'll do it for us tonight. I think we're going to give up on the last caller. But I'll have him on the show some other time. It was going to be Joe Sorensen, everybody. Our favorite. One of our favorites, at least. But we'll get him on sometime in the future. I'm going to sign off now with the Pac-Man death sound. I think that's appropriate for the end of the show. All right, and now I'm going to play a little bit of music to end the show. This is, I haven't played these guys in a while. I am one of the guys. This is JCJP. This is the opening track from our debut album, also titled JCJP. I'm the JC. JP is Jason Palomaro. This track is called Say It With Me. It features me on the saxophone, Jason on the violin, and Jason did all the other stuff for this track. If you like it, you can find more at jcjp.bandcamp.com. Thanks for listening. Goodbye, everyone.
shit.